We're live. The question is, are we going to get any comments tonight? Got one in the audience? I got my little buddy here. See if we can fix this. Summer, say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Smoking the Friday Savinelli with Kentucky Club mixed with Red Virginia ribbon. We're creating tonight, and do a little talk about blending. Have a couple of good bowls, maybe a few laughs. This isn't bad. Kentucky Club, which you can't get anymore. It's a burley. It's a little rough around the edges. I like it, but it's a little rough around the edges. If you add a little bit of Red Virginia to it, kind of smooths it out a bit. So earlier in the week, I created, this is what's left of what I made. This is a Virginia-based blend that has 1 part Red Virginia, a half a part of Eastern Carolina Ribbon Virginia, and a half a part of dark burley. And really good stuff. We'll get into talking about that in a little bit. Somebody wanted the recipe, and I'll explain the part business and all of that. If you're going to do any kind of blending, you really need a scale to be accurate with what you're doing, measuring things in ounces. But of course, I don't do anything the way that you're supposed to do it. So I have a way that's fairly close to being accurate. I use a little medicine cup, and I don't mix up all that much at a time anyway. And if you're doing it this way, you just need to be consistent with what you're using to measure. You could use a jar lid, you could use whatever you want to use, but you've got to I'm seeing comments. My goodness, something blew up and now I'm seeing comments. Am I with you? Hello, Pipes and Kayaks. So let me get back to where I was. So for tonight, I'm going to be calling this 1 part. And I did a poll in the community part of my channel asking what we should mix up. And the most popular was English, with Virginia right behind. And I gotta tell you, in my mind, the best Virginia blend that you can make, which is pretty easy to do, is 50% or 1 part of Pirate Cake and 50% of, or 1 part of Haunted Bookshop. Beautiful. Let it sit for 30 days, and you're going to end up with something. If you didn't like Haunted Bookshop or you didn't like Pirate Cake, you're going to love the mix of the two after 30 days. It's an amazing transformation. But we're going to mix up an English anyway. So, what we got, need an empty jar. And I think what we will do is take some Red Virginia first. We'll do a part of this. And again, if you want to be real precise, you need a scale. And the disclaimer on this is I'm no blender. A real tobacco blender is an artist, a scientist. It's amazing what those guys know, and gals. Okay, so we got 1 part of Red Virginia. And pretty much everybody knows Red Virginia's sweet. A little fruity. And then we're going to take, I think we'll do a 1/2 part of Virginia No. 1 from Mac Baren, which is one of my favorites. By the way, there's nothing wrong with mixing. You don't necessarily have to have base components. You can use stuff that's already been blended by somebody and blend it with something else. All right, so we're gonna do 1/2 of this. This is a little spicy, but I think it's gonna add a little punch to this. That looks pretty good. We're gonna add a 1/2 part of Ribbon Burley, another one of my favorites. Actually smoked this a number of times today. And as you can guess, I got a little bit more than a 1/2 there, but you know me and Burley. So that's in there. And if you've been keeping track, we have 2 parts of tobacco already in there. And I want to put some Latakia in, because it's an English mixture. English usually has Latakia in it, but not always. Have some old McClellan's Latakia. You can buy Latakia for blending from 4 Noggins or Smoking Pipes. In fact, any of these base components you can find online. So we're going to do half a part of Latakia, which is going to equate to less than 50% of the total, which is, I think 30 and 40% is probably what you're shooting for Latakia, unless you want a Latakia bomb. If you want a Latakia bomb, then you should smoke Pirate Cake. Now we're going to shake this up really good. And I got to tell you, after I mixed this stuff Monday, I wasn't all that thrilled with it But by Thursday, last night, I had this. Oh, did it smooth out? This will probably be the same way. So, whatever you make up, when you first try it, don't ditch it. Let it sit for a while and try it again in a couple of days. We're going to let that fester for a minute. 30 in the house tonight. Where is everybody? They must be out to dinner. What do you think, honey? Huh? Where'd everybody go? Oh, I don't know if I smoked all of this or not. Nope, we still have a little bit left. And we'll be smoking the English mixture that we made in the Churchwarden. See how it smells. Ah, Latakia. Smells like an English. All right, we're done with that. I don't know if you caught Eric, Blue Collar Pipe Smoker. He had mixed up some HGL and some kind of a Virginia twist, and was just raving about it. And like I said, you'll hear people say that they mixed Captain Black and Sir Walter Raleigh or something like that. Nothing wrong with doing that. I used to do Carter Hall and Prince Albert. Not bad at all. And then if you get motivated and you want to have some fun, you can try to come up with a name for your blend. I always get a big kick out of that. In fact, you can carry it a little bit further and try to think up some tin art for it. Maybe a little slogan to go on the side of the tin. Smells terrific. What do you think, honey? Are you impressed? I don't think she's impressed. Haunted Pirate Bookshop. No, it's called Haunted Pirate Ship. At least that's what I called it. Okay. That's going back over there, and we're going to light this up. Lighter. Summer usually likes Latakia, so we'll have to see if this perks her up. Wow. Well, I'll tell you. I got the perfect amount of Latakia in this, but I put too much burley in. Did I just say that? But that's why you never know what's going to happen when you mix this stuff. Burley and Virginia are funny together because Burley always loves to have Virginia with it because Virginia gives up, as a rule, the center stage tones down the burley a little bit and kind of shines a spotlight on it, which is why I'm getting so much of the burley nuttiness. I was hoping for a sweeter mix. But then again, if I let this sit a few days, things may turn around. That burley may actually absorb some of the essence of the Virginia. The Virginia #1, besides being a little spicy, is also kind of fruity. So we'll have to see. The stuff I made earlier in the week with the Eastern Carolina ribbon, if you were to try to reproduce this, you're going to come up with a totally different flavor than I got here, because my Eastern Carolina ribbon is about 6 or 7 years old, and instead of a fruity note to it, it's almost gone floral. Very soft floral note to it, almost like a Lakeland, but not that strong. I really wish I had some fresh stuff, because I think it would have been even better, but it isn't bad the way it is. $52 in the house. Not bad. What, Burley? Quaker Piper. How you doing? Hey, Burr. Yes, she does enjoy Latakia. Always has. Summer did perk up. Can you wave? Can you wave? Wave. Gotta get you in the screen there. There you go. Wave. Pimo, they're asking me if I'm planning another trip to Pimo. Pimo got sold, and it's Vermont Freehand, or a guy up in Vermont who's always on the internet bought it. I'm not sure if he's in Manchester where the other place used to be, or how that all worked out. But that's a long haul up to Vermont. Summer, they're calling for you. Great trip I had, though, when I did that. Crosby's Corner, how are you? Well, there she goes. Move this back so I don't have to twist my bod. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. What is Summer's favorite pipe? Any pipe that's lit, I think. Grant, how are you tonight? Good to see you, even though I see you all day on Facebook. So anybody out there got any favorite mixes that they do? Jeff Lowry. Have I ever had a dog? Oh, there's a story for you. When my wife and I got married, she wanted a dog. Now, when you first get married, you'll do anything to make your wife happy. So I let her get a dog. And I never really liked dogs. So I said, you're going to have to, you know, do whatever you have to do to take care of the dog. Okay. So Then we adopted our daughter, and she was allergic to the dog. Really heartbreaking. Guess who had to take the dog to the shelter? So, no more dogs. Half OJK and half pirate cake. Same thing as the haunted bookshop, really, but that would be an interesting one to try as well. What else did I used to mix? Got to be a little bit careful mixing aromatics with stuff, because if you get a real gloppy, goopy one, it's going to mess up whatever you're mixing it with. But that HGL that Eric mixed, that the HGL is like a crossover English aromatic. Interesting mixture. I've had a lot of failures mixing the base components because it's not as easy as it might seem. And as I was telling somebody not long ago, it gives you a great, great, great appreciation for the people who do blending for a living. They're wizards. They're masters. So I've got the Red Virginia from Cornell and Diehl, which is great smoking by itself. I got the Virginia #1. I've got red cake, a pound of red cake, so I won't need that for a long time. I've got four different kinds of burley, I think. Cube cut, dark. I have I got the ribbon. I think I have a burley Cavendish. I've got a mocha Cavendish, which adds kind of a coffee flavor, if you're looking for that. Black Cavendish. I love working with that, but it's really tricky stuff as well, depending on what you're mixing it with. It tastes like toasted marshmallows. Beautiful stuff. And what else have I got? Latakia. I've got Orientals. Have some Perique somewhere. And again, you can buy all that stuff online. I can remember at one point, this stuff was the only game in town. You could get Latakia, Orientals, and Perique for blending, but the other base components, I remember when I first started looking, they didn't sell them. So what do you think of Gasparini pipes? Never heard of them. Where are they from? Quaker Piper. And what else do we have for this evening? Went out early this morning and did my chapter 10 of my work history. We're slowly getting close to when I started the job I'm at now. Oh, I know what I was going to tell. Is it next? Yes. Next Friday night, I'll be chopping up the Kentucky leaf out of the bacon old fashioned. I checked on it last night, and it's not as big a chunk as I thought, but I think it'll make a bowl's worth. If not, I'll have to put a little bit of the vile tobacco in with it. But we'll be doing that for the 4th of July. We'll see what the difference is from last summer. Or we'll see how the Kentucky leaf tastes. Bacon. Yes, yes. The annual review. And somebody posted that the original review was 2016. So this will be my 3rd year. 16, 17, and 18. So after this, I only have to do it 2 more years to fulfill my agreement to see if 5 years improves it. Wouldn't it be amazing if on the 5th year I smoked it and loved it? Oh boy. I don't know. Hello, LATX Piper. Gamecock Piper. Tony P. How you doing? So, not much else to speak of, I don't think. Pipes and Kayak says that might happen. 60% red Virginia, 35% fire-cured burley, 5% cigar leaf. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I have cigar leaf. Also, and I know there's somebody else who does this. I save my old cigar stubs because you can chop those up and use them in blends as well. And I know I've talked about describing various components as musical notes, where Orientals are like a high note. Down at the bottom, the low note is like Latakia. And cigar leaf is really terrific for adding body to something. I could have actually put some cigar leaf in this, and it would have made it a little bolder. But again, I don't know what this is going to taste like after it's been festering in the jar for a few days. Cigar leaf would be under the audible spectrum. Oh, I love cigar leaf. I think I first discovered it in Billy Bud. And I kept thinking, what is that I'm getting? And then I went somewhere and looked at the components and it said cigar leaf. Couldn't believe it. Really does add something nice to a blend. And we're just about out with this. So, yeah, if you're interested in blending, read up on it. All kinds of stuff we didn't even get into tonight, like burning rates for different leaf, whether they burn hot or cool, all of that kind of stuff. The blenders can tell you, you know, whether you need more of this to make it burn better or less of this to make it burn better or not be as hot. It's a real science. So we're at 30 minutes, and I'm going to thank you all for joining me this Friday night. Hope you all have a great rest of the weekend. Take it easy.